Yesterday, the House passed their rules packages, which of course include all of the concessions that Kevin McCarthy made to the extremists in his party in exchange for that Speaker's gavel. But even yesterday, a new concession was revealed. And this one was not in the rules package because this is more of a verbal agreement, I guess you would say. Not necessarily something in writing, but something that McCarthy agreed to that will not only benefit the extremists, but help them grow their ranks. And that concession was that McCarthy said that the Congressional Leadership Fund, the Congressional Super PAC that he runs, will no longer support any candidate in an open seat primary in a Republican district. Here's what that means. Let's use my district as an example because it's a deep red district where a Republican is always going to win. Say Matt Gaetz doesn't run for re-election. So we have a bunch of Republicans come in a primary. We've got one normal Republican who's doing well in the polls, and we've got one MAGA-style Republican. Typically, this Congressional Leadership Fund would come in and they would fund the normal Republican in the primary, which would put the MAGA Republican at a disadvantage. Under this new rule, they will give money to neither candidate. So they cannot elevate normal Republicans, nor can they trash crazy Republicans. And as we saw from the Democratic strategy this past election cycle, where Democratic groups came in and hyped up the MAGA candidate in the primaries and then ended up beating them in the general, we know how toxic these MAGA people can be, but we also know with a good Democrat we can beat them. But not in a deep red district, and that's the problem. So the MAGA people get the advantage with this new concession from McCarthy because they will not be attacking them. They will not be boosting a normal Republican, which again could end up bolstering the ranks of these MAGA fanatics in the House of Representatives. But McCarthy didn't care. All McCarthy wanted was that power, without stopping to think for a second that this particular concession, based on the other rules that he has now solidified, could result in him getting voted out of the speakership if the ranks of those MAGA Freedom Caucus Republicans continues to grow. So he didn't really think this through, so he's ultimately probably going to pay the price for it, but so is the United States. Instead of getting rid of these members of the Freedom Caucus throughout election cycles, we will see more of them. Instead of getting rid of the obstruction, it will grow worse. That is what this concession will do, and it 100% benefits those lunatic Republicans who are probably going to enjoy much greater numbers after the next election cycle. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.